3. J. Krishnamurti said, "The observer is the observed." This is seeing things as they are, via the direct seeing without words. In a similar way, the Buddha also taught the same. In the seeing, it is only the seeing consciousness, and there is no one to see, hence no delusion. Otherwise, the moment you associate and cling on to what you see or what you observe, delusion or Sakkaya Ditthi has already arisen.
So this one, by now you should understand. Huh? J. Krishnamurti also very wise. He said, the observer and what is observed is actually the same thing. That's why he always says the observer is the observed. When you can understand that means what? You got no more delusion. It's just like thought is respond to memory. There is no thinker behind the thought. There is no one to observe something, understand? That's why the Buddha say, in that seeing is only that consciousness, understand? So when you understand that, then you realize that thing is just a consciousness, an image, understand? Without its content yet. So Krishnamurti realized the human being that observes is not separate from what it observes. You understand? Because the observer is born of what? Who observes? Your thought through perception observe, isn't it? And what do you observe? Another thought, external form, understand? Which you create, like you observe the Buddha image. You think you observe. Your thought observe, understand, through perception. Then it create another perception, understand? It's also thought, understand? That's why the observer is the observed. In the seeing, it's only the consciousness, no one to see. If you can understand that, you penetrate, you can awaken. So this understanding is very profound. We are seeing things as they are. That's why the Buddha also understands. We are the direct seeing. In the seeing is only the seeing consciousness, no one to see. Both are pointing towards the same teaching, the same truth. The observer is the observed. And that is what we call There are two types of seeing. One is subjective seeing. With a subject, you see. Understand? The other one is not subjective. It's called objective seeing. Means the direct seeing. Understand? No personality behind. No subject behind. So that is the understanding. So when you can see things as they are, means the pure observation through your silent mind, the awareness nature.
It's just something to share. I recall an example that helped me understand this. Recently, on the way to Thursday class, driving through Subang roads, there was one junction when I turned out. Then there was a motorbike passing by, and then the motorbike slowed down, and as he passed by, glared at me, stared at me, and then drove off very angrily. So I continued on to class. So it's a very simple example, but I find it very relevant. The example keep coming up throughout the last 3 pages that we went through, so it prompted me to share. So first is when we were talking about the 12 links. So the first is the mundane mind seeing that whole thing unfold. Then it went back to memory in this kind of situation, like an AI, standard answer, find out who's wrong. So, is it my fault?
Mundane mind wants to determine. Means I used to tell Song what? Analyze, do the analysis. Who is right, who is wrong. Justify also. It's not about right and wrong. Thing is just the way it is. He like that, he will do things like that. So then you, being the independent party, how you understand it will make a big difference to your life. That's why she learned. And this is a real life example. That's why it's very good. You continue.
And then the relevance popped up again when we were talking about the duality, right and wrong, good and bad. In this situation, actually, from the perspective, it can be anyone, right or wrong. Actually, if I don't look at the mundane mind seeing, just like maybe objective seeing, I'm not sure if I understand what's pure awareness seeing yet, but objectively, this incident happening is no different from a leaf or a flower falling down from a tree. It is a lot of causes and conditions. From his perspective, he is right. From my perspective, I am right. So you want to argue, there's always room to argue.
Yeah, because that is the way of the mundane mind, understand? Because right and wrong is not a universal truth, you know, it's a conventional truth. What is conventional truth? Right according to who, understand? Or? You understand? Or? Right according to her is different from right according to the motorbike fellow, understand? Or? So I always say, thing is just the way it is. No right, no wrong. Now you understand that. Because that is a conventional truth. Right according to who? That's why sometimes, if there is a misunderstanding or what people want to argue, I will tell them, no problem, you are right. Did I lie? I didn't lie. You're right according to him or her, understand? No? You're right according to you. Yeah, you are right, so no need to argue. Understand? So when you understand, you become different. Because no point. This is analysis, mundane mind. Form a mind and another form a mind. What are you doing? Understand? Getting angry, jealous, or what? Or nothing. Understand? Empty. We are finally, like we understand, the reality is within the moment. And the moment is so transient. So where got reality? Whether you exist or you don't exist, no different. The condition will continue to evolve, understand? Continue to transform and manifest, following the nature's law. That's why, if you really see it, there is empty, not what you think. But there is such thing as life, existence, when you have the Dhamma understanding. Then through emptiness, when you penetrate, it's wonderful. That part is real, even though it's within the conditioned world. You can live that life, which since 1989 until now, my nature living that life. That's why no problem at all. So beautiful. Yeah, continue.
So back to the example, for me, I was in the car, there was nothing to handle with him, no need to settle, so don't need to use the mundane mind to think of the win-win scenario to come out. But so apart from the application, there was also the part we talked about dwelling. So what I observed, what I did there is because I go and dwell, the Sankara go to memory and say what's the standard reaction.
Correct. That's how you dwell. You hold on to that thing. You attack unfinished business, understand? You want to resolve it, understand? And most people resolve it through what? Through your thought process, understand? And the thought always give you all the reasoning, understand? That guy wrong ma, definitely wrong ma. Then you end up what? Consoling yourself. Whether he right or wrong, he's the way he is, finished. Understand?
Then what at the end how I manage to let it go is think also like that. Don't think also like
very
that.
good. So now you can quote me. Think also like that. Because ultimately 来也空，去也空啊。那么施主何必苦苦为空流泪呢？
Yeah.
You come empty, you go empty. Then in between, why do you grieve over something that is not a reality, empty?
Yeah.
Understand?
It's just the ego damage.
The ego damage. Yeah. Very good, Sadhu. Very good.
Then the last part is the Krishnamurti quote that we just spoke about. It's the moment you associate and cling onto what you see. That really dragged me in.
Yeah. The egoic mind come out.
When we look at the leaf falling from the tree, we don't associate, we don't get comment, right? When we look at
this is something natural, isn't it?
But with this one, I see but I go and comment until I reach
Yeah.
Subang already. Class
Yeah.
want to start, still there. But didn't affect that much. But I realized
Because
how
of
comes
your understanding. That's why it's very good. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. When a few years back, when a group of Kalyana we all went to Thailand, I remember we went and visit Wat Patnanachat, the Western disciple of Ajahn Chah. And there we met Sri Panyo. We were very lucky. He was there. He took us around. Then later on, Ajahn Sumedho also there. So we actually joined them because the Ananda Krishna's son, what's the name? I just mentioned his name. Sri Panyo, sorry. He was taking us around. Then he know, we all different, no? Because somebody was talking. Then he said, why not you join us? He said, we go to the meditation hall there tonight. Ajahn Sumedho will be there. Then somebody, my Kayamita, he said, Sri Ajahn, he said, can we do lying down meditation? You know how he answered, no? You will be amazed. No? He said, actually, what you ask is very good. He said, because what my concern is, people may not understand. So you go there, you do that, it may create unnecessary misunderstanding and very weird and not popularly accepted or a convention. But what he said later on is very good. He said, do you know, able to do lying down meditation without going to sleep, that is real skill, he used the word. Real kung fu. Means you can maintain awareness without sleeping. That is the true cultivator of the way. That's why the Buddha said lying down is also a posture for you to meditate, the four posture. Then later on, we went there. Of course, we didn't do lying down. Then Ajahn Chah, what Ajahn Chah no more. Sumedho, Ajahn Sumedho, he came. Then there was some question, Then he asked something, I forgot already. Then I decided to put up my hand now. Then I was sharing how when we were there, we were asked to sweep the leaf, isn't it? Sweep the leaf. So we all know that you have the understanding, you sweep mindfully, Means you don't sweep with your thought having aversion, I come here to meditate, I come here to receive all the Dhamma, and now asking me to sweep the leaf. So if you are a cultivator, you know, everything you do in life is cultivation. The moment you are aware, you are heedful, you are cultivating. Then after that, I told Ajahn Sumedho, I said, I was sweeping, of course, mindfully, with joy, with happiness. Then I say, one thing I realized, after I sweep, the leaf will fall again, no? And sooner or later, all the leaf there, no? Then I say, I came out with the understanding. The reality is, the leaf will fall. Then I got no more problem. Where the leaf will fall, there is the reality. So whether you sweep or what, you reason or what, no use. Where the leaf will fall, it will follow nature's condition. Like my teacher Ajayantra, he said, nature is our greatest teacher, he said. Nature has great loving kindness, a lot of patience. Nature give and give, never take, he said. The air we breathe from nature, isn't it? True or not? The food that feed you, all from nature, understand? The water you drink come from nature. That's why he said you observe nature, you learn. Then he said the tree endure the sunlight, provide the shade for human being, understand or not? That's why nature very compassionate. But what did human being do to the tree? Huh? You either chop it down and sell the timber, or you urinate down there and create a mess out of it. That's why he said human beings are very selfish. So he said, nature, when there is a lot of this, what they call thunder or whatever, we live in a house, that's why we feel safe, understand? But the tree outside, the rock, everything, is it? Luckily, they don't have consciousness, is it? They always endure, understand? Whatever the condition, they endure. Then when they endure the harsh condition, especially the tree, in autumn, they will drop their leaf, yeah? Then they will bud again during spring, understand? That's why they accord and flow with condition. Not like human being. Small thing also complain. Very selfish, understand? Why rain? Rain also complain. No rain also complain, understand? That's why you contemplate into all these nature's manifestation, then you realize the human being, because of the mundane mind, the consciousness and the delusion, have a lot of selfishness, a lot of evil roots. Things don't go your way, unhappy, emotional. So then when you cannot understand, you develop fear, worry, anxiety. So this is what is haunting the living being. Understand? Huh? Although you think you have a mind, you are a conscious being, why you think you're very great? Huh? You can see, you can hear, you can smell, you can taste, you can tactile feel and think. But without wisdom, you are useless, understand? Huh? You are deluded, heedless. That's why you suffer. The first noble truth, or dukkha satcha. That one, contemplate, reflect. Without wisdom, you will fall into suffering. So the urgency is, don't wait. Like the Buddha said, apamadena sampadeta. Strike on with what? Heedfulness. You must understand that stanza, no? You don't go and put effort and strive on, no, understand? Before you have heedfulness, no, understand? The meaning is develop heedfulness first, then strive on with heedfulness, no? Otherwise, like J. Krishnamurti say, you know, wherever there is effort, there is no meditation. Who create effort? The thought. That's why Xu Yun, they all cannot penetrate. Ananda also try very hard, cannot penetrate. Because there is effort. Want to realize, want to become. And you go to what Pat Pong, which is Ajahn Chah's monastery in the early day, there is a sign, you know. What does it write? I think MB will know. We went there, we saw. Don't try to be an Arahant. You want to become an Arahant, you can never become an Arahant. That is what Ajahn Chah telling you. But that craving, that wanting prevents you. So effort is not what you think. The Buddha teach the 5 spiritual faculties. The second one is virya. You know what is virya now? A lot of Theravada book translate as effort now. You ask what? But under the Noble Eightfold Path, the 4 right effort is what? Sama Vayama. Understand? It's not virya. Virya is not an effort. It's a spiritual zeal, tenacity, after knowing who the Buddha is, how unique a being he is, and how wonderful a teaching he has taught us. That's why you have that virya, that spiritual tenacity to go all out to cultivate this one. That's why he never says spiritual faculty effort. The moment you use effort, Krishnamurti say wherever there is effort, there is no meditation. So don't be gullible, understand? When he says strive on with heedfulness, means must develop heedfulness first. But the Dhammapada verse 21, 22, 23, very clear. Heedfulness is the path to the deathless. The heedful never die. Whereas heedlessness is the path to the dead. The heedless are as if dead. So without heedfulness, you go and strive for what? Understand or not? You go and cultivate for what? That's why he say, the ever mindful and constantly meditative, understand? Constantly meditative means you strive on with heedfulness. When you are ever mindful, then you use it to cultivate the word Eightfold. That's why the steadfast one, that is what heedfulness, apamada, is all about. So understanding is very important. Otherwise you interpret, the Buddha say what? Strive on what? There is effort already lah. You don't understand? Sound logical, isn't it? But whatever that is logical within the convention is never or seldom the truth. So understand all this. When you have the awakening, you see it very clearly. And you don't argue with people. Understand? No need. No right, no wrong.